There is one archer epic hero which is amazing for PvP and PvE gameplay, which I think all the beginners and the veteran players should know about this hero. And of course, we are going to speak more in details in order for you guys to get highest value from that hero, right? And of course, all the veterans might know already. Of course, we are speaking about Gwanwyn, right? Gwanwyn is Spring Warden's main hero. I know Spring Wardens are cavalry faction, but Gwanwyn is one of the best, if not the best, epic hero for PvP and also, of course, for PvE gameplay, right? So all the beginners who are starting the game, if you are going to focus on Gwanwyn and awaken her as fast as possible, you will get a lot of amazing values from this hero, right? Behemoth, one of the highest damage dealers, and of course, one of the best heroes against infantry players. Well, why? Of course, in order for us to find out why this hero is so good, till this day in 2026, we have to understand the skills, right? So let's find out why Gwanwyn, Arrow of the Wind, is so good, right? The main skill, the first skill, Chaotic Arrows, needs 1k rage, skill damage factor 2000, and final attack damage factor 400, right? Deals damage to target legions 3 times in a quick succession. Basically, 600 skill damage factor when it lands, and final attack damage factor 400. Basically, 1000 damage from the main skill. Actually, for Epic Hero, that's not even bad, because I believe Waldir, which is the mage hero for epic ones, has even less. The second skill, unfortunately, is peacekeeping skill. Well, maybe for beginners it's great because you're gonna get way more experience, way more damage on Darklings, and it will be faster for you to take the experience and level up Gwanwyn, right? The third skill, the Green Boat's Master, Marksman physical attack bonus 50% for epic hero is nice, and March speed bonus 10% is basically average. But in general, I believe March speed bonuses are really good for archer heroes. The fourth skill is really nice, especially if you are tier 5 player. When Legion has 50% unit count or higher, units deal 10% more damage. That's the reason why I mentioned tier 5, because while you are tier 5, you are most tanky if we are comparing to the other tiers, right? The most important skill basically for Gwanwyn gameplay is of course Awakening skill, right? It's a passive skill. When Gwanwyn's Legion launches normal attack, they have 50% chance to inflict poison, deals damage every second for 3 seconds. This is the reason why Gwanwyn is amazing against basically every single behemoth. This is the reason why Gwanwyn is still played in open field PvP after 3 years of Call of Dragons. Basically, that's the reason why my advice was to awaken her as fast as possible in order for you to unlock this skill, and then when it happens, when Gwanwyn is great in PvE and also in PvP, right? What we can say about the skills, some average skills, I believe 4 skill, and of course Awakening skill is the most important, and I believe for Epic Hero she has pretty nice play kit, right? I believe it's perfect time for us to have a segue in terms of talents for Gwanwyn. We know that Gwanwyn is Marksman, Peacekeeping, and Precision, right? Let's check out the talents which I have been using for a while. Of course, I went for Precision talent tree, the best single target damage dealing talent tree in the game. And of course, I got some March speed from the talents also, right? In Precision, I went for the overall speed on maximum level. Of course, after that, I went for the Invisible. When launching a normal attack, your Legion has 10% chance to get Onslaught, basically normal attack damage increase. On Gwanwyn, we are dealing damage by normal attacks and poison, right? I went for Cool Under Pressure, then Intrepid. The last one is Unstoppable, and in terms of Mighty Slash or Mark of the War, basically I have been using Mighty Slash for a long time. I have been testing Mark of War on my Magrat and Zaida, and slowly I'm deciding to go for Mark of the War. Basically, either one you're gonna go, both of them are amazing, but lately I'm moving towards the mark of the war, and I might even change this talent tree in the future for Gwanwyn. For the half marksman talent tree, I went for some attack damage. Here, intimidation. We have some skill damage from the first skill, so why not, right? And that's why we have some hero skill damage dealt bonuses. And in the end, bullseye, of course, for more attack for our march, because as an archer, we generally have highest physical attack in the game, and why not add even more, right? So yeah, basically, this is my talent tree so far. After 3 years, there is only one question. I might go for Marco 4, I might not. Let's see, I will decide in the future, right? So yeah, that's the talent tree. I always say, don't just copy paste, try to understand what these talents are actually giving to your march. It will be more and more helpful for you, right? And yeah, when you get Gwanwyn, we know in Call of Dragons you can actually have pairs, like two heroes at the same time, and I think we can easily go and speak about hero pairs for Gwanwyn, right? Basically, for the beginners, when you start the game, the hero pairs for Gwanwyn will be basically every single archer hero which you're gonna acquire at first, right? It might be even Craig, it might be even Nico, it might be even Kinara, right? But in my opinion, at the start of the game, Gwanwyn and Nico, no matter which gonna put as a primary, because both heroes are actually having precision talent tree, so kind of same. This is the hero pair which you are going to have in the first couple of months of playing Call of Dragons, right? Of course, there is amazing choices if you are a spender in this game. For example, Gwanwyn with Hosk, right? Gwanwyn with Hosk. Hosk will give you survivability. Hosk will give you a lot of buffs. So you are basically kind of feeling like a legendary hero as a Gwanwyn, right? The amount of buffs you are actually getting. Well, yeah, and we can easily move to a next tier of heroes. And then I believe there is a couple of nice choices, right? You can even easily go for the Gwanwyn and Thea in the early days, even late period of Call of Dragons, and I was testing out Moose Young with Gwanwyn, and the amount of merits I was getting was pretty close to the other heroes, right? So basically, Moose Young and Gwanwyn, well, if you want more damage, you're gonna put Gwanwyn with Gwanwyn as a primary. If you want to have more survivability, you are going to put Moose Young as a primary, right? So basically, that's another hero pair for Gwanwyn in the later stages of the game. And well, we already said like 5 hero pairs where you can put Gwanwyn and she will do absolutely fine, right? Of course, even like Gwanwyn and Freygar is a nice hero pair, pretty good. Now, Freygar will give us normal attack damage increase, some crit rate, and of course some extra normal attack damage. And also, the newest hero pair for Gwanwyn is basically the Ruby and Gwanwyn, right? Until I was trying out Ruby with different hero pairs, Ruby and Gwanwyn does pretty well, right? That was my first try. Unfortunately, my Ruby was really weak at that time, and I was still getting quite a lot amount of merits, which is a good one, right? So still, even with G5 heroes, Gwanwyn is usable even there, right? So that's the beauty of this hero and the beauty of other archer heroes, which you can pair with a different ones, and you will have a different kind of successful amount of merits while playing epic hero, which is pretty nice, right? So yeah, a lot of hero pairs, a lot of useful ones. Hopefully you will choose whichever you like most, right? And of course, we still have some things to speak about, and one of them is of course artifacts, right? We're gonna speak about the beginner artifacts. At the start of the game, you have two choices. Shadow Blades will be more offensive one with a skill damage factor, and Heart of Kamase will be more defensive one, right? I can't really decide which one is better. Depends on your playstyle, depends on your gameplay. That's the best one for you, right? That's when you are basically using Gwanwyn as a primary hero. These are the two artifacts which I would generally go for a Gwanwyn primary. Well, if you are using Gwanwyn as a secondary with Ruby, or Warring Rager is a nice choice. If you are using Gwanwyn with Frygar, Goldcrest will be a nice choice. Basically, depending which hero you have as a secondary or paired up with Gwanwyn, that's the artifact you are going to get, going to use whenever you are playing as a Gwanwyn, right? But I think as a primary Gwanwyn, as a beginner artifact, Heart of Kamasi and Shadowblade is a pretty nice choices, right? And also, if you are trying out Gwanwyn with Thea, or basically the flying heroes, there is one more artifact, which is all-arounder artifact, which I unfortunately still don't have, and that's of course a Visage of the Sanctus. That's with the flying units, wyverns, and a Thea gameplay, right? So even for the artifacts, you have many different choices. Choose whichever you want to get and whichever you are most comfortable, right? In Call of Dragons, we have also one more way of making and building the heroes. That's, of course, war pits, right? For the war pit section, I believe one of the most universally good war pit for Gwanwyn as a primary hero will be for sure Sand Lizard. Just get pure heals. It's really easy to build Sand Lizard, and you won't gonna spend too much currencies for the war pits to actually build this war pit, right? But of course, since Gwanwyn can be a great secondary hero, for example, Gwanwyn and Nico can use Sand Lizard, but they also can use Snow Peak Rock, right? Because of the defense break synergy. If you are using Gwanwyn with Frygar, for example, you are going to go for the Night Rock. It will be suit perfectly. It will be more offensive build, actually. And what else, right? If you are going to play with the Ruby and Gwanwyn, you are going for Wind Whistle, right? This warpet is amazing. It deals a lot of damage, and if you are having still some questions regarding is Wind Whistle good or not, it's amazing. If you want, I will build this warped pretty soon, and I will show how good it is. So basically, universally good warped for the Gwanwyn will be Sand Lizard, just purely for the heals, and other warpeds is suitable depending which heroes you are using with Gwanwyn, right? For Freygar Nightrock, for Nico Kinara Snowpeak Rock. If you are still using Gwanwyn with Magrat or Zaida, of course Shadow Manticore, and that's it, right? Sand Lizard should be the primary choice if you are running Gwanwyn as a primary hero. And yeah, that's basically for the artifacts, for the warpeds, for artifacts, and generally mainly the gameplay of archers, right? And why it is important to utilize every single hero in the game? Well, there is one simple answer to that question. In Call of Dragons, we have something like this cold stamina, right? Every single time your hero is outside of the city, you are losing some stamina. Imagine whenever you are fighting for a couple of hours, maybe for a couple of days, your stamina is getting lower and lower, and at some point, when you have like 10 stamina, you can't even use your heroes, right? So what it means, you have to think about other heroes which you are going to use whenever you have low stamina on your main heroes, right? That's why it is important to know even the epic heroes which you can use in open field PvP, and which ones will be great. That's why you should be ready, right? For example, you have been playing with the 5 archer marches for 3 days or even 2 days, and unfortunately you don't have stamina for your main heroes. You're gonna remember George made a video regarding Gwanwyn. She's amazing in open field PvP, she's great in PvE. Why not use her, right? That's the idea why I think you should be able to play with many different heroes and hero pairs, because unfortunately, stamina in Call of Dragons is not unlimited, right? And hopefully, Gwanwyn will be successful for you, because she have been successful with me for a long, long time. And yeah, that's how I have been getting a lot of merits in Call of Dragons. Here we are still in zone 2, already 50 million merits. Basically 99% are from the archers, and of course we are going to continue to get even more, right? So yeah, hopefully the Gwanwyn guide was interesting for you, and if it was, as always, press like, subscribe, share. It always gives me more and more motivation to make more content for this game. I wish everybody amazing day, morning, and night. We are going to see each other really, really soon. Bye bye and good luck.